I got $350 as welcome package. As a newcomer, as an international student, as a fresh person here in Canada, we also receive incentives from the Canadian government. Yes, I received incentives from the Canadian government. Welcome guys, if you're just joining us, this is the part 2, the continuation of the video I just put out. I just told you guys, my 1 year experience in Canada. This is the continuation of it. Like I told you guys, I slashed this video in total because it was too long, so this is the continuation part of it. Thank you for watching. I hope you all like, subscribe, and share my videos. Now let's get into the details of this video. Pro parts. I'm very convinced this is the pro part. Now, pro part of coming to Canada is that you have the ability to provide for yourself and your family. Now, what do I mean? I know back home right now in Nigeria, I don't know about other countries, things are a bit difficult now. Cost of living is crazy, like over the roof. I just left Nigeria last year, 2023. How things were then is not how they are anymore now. Now, the money I buy for foodstuff for me and my siblings while I was back home, it has tripled. In fact, it has quadrupled right now. And still we don't buy, they don't buy all the amount of foodstuff or all the quantity of foodstuff they used to buy, but as of last year while I was back home. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. It is really, really difficult back home now for people to feed. Like, I keep wondering how people are able to survive on low income. Now, my reason for saying this is that you being here, it has been easy for me. Not so easy, but I would say it's easy for me to provide for my family back home. I don't know about others, but it is easy for you to provide for your family back home, because when you convert the money, it's gonna be like meaningful to be able to provide for your family back home, especially food. When I say provide, I'm talking about food, because that is the most important thing. I'm not rich, I'm just managing, but I find that it is easy for me to provide for my family from here than when I was back home in Nigeria. I don't know if that makes sense, because I keep thinking, if I was still back home in Nigeria, I don't know how me and my siblings would have been surviving in terms of feeding, because the food prices are really over the roof right now. So coming here, you see you are able to provide for yourself, and if you have your family here, you and your family can survive. You can survive food, you can have clothing. You don't need to have everything to survive here in this country. Believe me, you don't have to have everything. Once you have your shelter, once you have your feeding, once you have your clothing, you're good, right? So you can survive here in Canada. And as a single person, or if you have your family back home, it is also easy for you to like support your family back home. So that is the pro part, which I'm very happy about, and I'm very thankful to God for that. Let's proceed. Another thing we're going to be talking about is constant electricity. As you can see, there is light. There is light, so there is 24/7, 24 hours in a day electricity. There is constant electricity here. Unlike back home where I came from, there will not be lights. Like, I was talking to my siblings and they were like complaining of how they have not been lights for like a week back home in Nigeria. Here there is nothing like that. If the power is going to go out here, there must be a reason. Say there is a hurricane, there is a certain big major problem that is going to make them take off the lights. And if they are going to do that, they are going to like send an announcement, inform every citizen, inform everyone that they're going to be taking the light, and they're going to be giving you time when they will restore the light. And trust me, it's not going to be up to 24 hours, depending on the situation that they would have to restore the light. So since I came here a year now, it's been only once they took the electricity, and that was last year. And that was the reason, was because last year we had I don't know what that was. Is it a typhoon? It was this heavy wind, heavy bad wind that was carrying people, carrying trees, and carrying cars. So because of that, they like gave an announcement they were going to turn off the power, and less than 24 hours electricity or power was restored. And that was the only time I've experienced a blackout since coming to Canada. So that is a very big pro to come into this country. You have constant electricity. Presently, you can, so as a YouTuber, you can literally make content any time of the day. I'm making this content very late at night. I can tell, you can tell. I know you can tell from the shadow in the background. It's night, but there is electricity to power the lights. So that is a good thing about being here. Constant electricity. Now I'm gonna be talking about good quality of education. So if you come here, I'm not gonna touch more in the about this aspect because I mean my video is mostly coming to study in Canada, and I have a whole lot of videos about my experience studying in Canada. So I'm just gonna touch this on the surface. So studying in Canada, it's very beautiful, and it's very advantageous at the same time, because studying here you're gonna be taught a whole lot, and here they don't just teach theories like we know back home. There is theory, but teaching here, study here is more of the practical aspect, because here in Canada they're all about skill. Okay, they're all about the skill set, all about the skill what you're going to give them, not just head knowledge. You need the practical aspect of it. So that is how we are being taught here. We are taught about the mostly practical aspect of things here. So that is something I really love, and every instructor, every lecturer, they're going to make sure you're really good at what you study. That is why when you see someone who has graduated from any institution abroad, in Canada here, they turn out really great. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, because they really teach us good. Because if you don't pass the practical aspects, there is no way you're moving forward, and there is no way you are graduating. And trust me, if you don't graduate, how are you going to get a dream job, right? It's not possible. So the education system here is good. The teaching quality is good. I love everything. It is top notch. And I can say the same thing for those in secondary school, basic elementary school, the lower grades and stuff for the kids. I know they teach them good as well. For those of you who have kids and are here, I don't know if you know I'm speaking your mind, but for me, who have studied here in the higher level, or the higher level, I can say the educational system here is good in terms of good quality education. So let's proceed to the healthcare system. So health here in Canada is it's somehow like you say so. So what do I mean by that? Yeah, there are great doctors here, there are great nurses who are doing a great job, but you don't have smooth, easy access to healthcare system here. What do I mean? You need to have a family doctor for one. You need to have a health card too, and you know there are a whole lot of processes you're gonna go through before you can see a doctor for a particular health situation you might have. And so it's advised for everyone to get a health card, because if you're going to be paying out of pocket for whatever health expenses you're going to be paying, it is going to be crazy. You should be looking at nothing less than $3,000, $5,000 or more. I know when I was still studying, there was one of my classmates then. He didn't have a health insurance, so he said he only went for he had this thing that normally they stop when you're in Nigeria, like you have some ear issue and all that. He went to the hospital, right? I think it was the emergency he went or something, I don't know. But he said after everything that they only did small thing to bring out whatever that was bothering him. And he said by the time the bill came to his house, it was over $1,000. And that is just for the ear. And he said it was not even up to 30 minutes of whatever they did that, over $1,000. So you can imagine more if it was a major health situation. You're going to be spending through your nose. So that is why it's advisable here you get a health card. You get a health coverage, health insurance. So you can have, it's going to be easy for you. And like I said, you need a family doctor. I'm still trying to navigate that part of family doctor, because over time, like I've had trips to the hospital, but it was an emergency, and I used my health insurance card as a student because I had a health insurance coverage. So but since being a student, or since after being a student, I've not really gone to the hospital thing and forth, but I don't research. Anyways, you need to have a health insurance, you need to have a family doctor, and yeah, it's not that easy to navigate, but will I say it's easy compared to Nigeria? No. In Nigeria, it is quite easy, because when you have any health problem, you can easily walk to any private hospital and see a doctor, right? But here it's different. You can't really see a doctor immediately. You have to be on the queue. You have to be on the wait lists. So that is the con here in the healthcare system. Let's leave it at that. So another thing we're going to be talking about is system. So since coming to Canada, I've realized that the bus system, so now I'm going to be giving this like compare and contrast from here, Canada and Nigeria. So coming here, I felt, oh, the bus system is going to be like Nigeria bus system. You know how Nigerian buses are the ones, if you want to get somewhere fast, you should take a public bus, right? Because those drivers are crazy. They are going to like corner, navigate all those corner, fast. It is very different here. Here, the buses are slow. The buses are slow. The buses will frustrate you. The buses will frustrate you. I'm not even exaggerating. That is why it is advisable you get your own car here in Canada. The bus system is really slow. Really slow and frustrating. That's all I'm gonna say about Canada bus system. Let's move over to the next part. If you have not hit on the subscribe button, please hit on the subscribe button, guys. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, please like this video so YouTube can recommend this video to other viewers. Please like the video and do not forget to share my videos, guys. Okay, let's continue. So I'm going to be talking about credit system here. So here in Canada, they deal on credit based points. Credit. You need to have credit score, a good credit score, to be able to be have access to a whole lot of things here. You need to, and what do I mean by credit score? Before coming here, I never knew what credit was. In my mind, I'm like, so I remember before coming to Canada, in my mind, I'm always saying, me, take credit. I will never take credit for anything. Everything I want, I'll have to pay cash because I hate debt. Right? True, that was what I said. Now, coming here into Canada, I realized that it is very important you have credits. You take credits. It is very important if you're going to be building your points and if you're going to be having major steps, investments and whatnot in this country. You need that credit. It is hugely, widely important. Now, the thing is, you take things on credit, but you're giving time to pay off, and you have to pay off on those times you're meant to pay off. When you pay off on those times you're meant to pay off, you have a good credit score, you have a score. But when you don't pay when you're meant to pay off, your credit score diminishes, and it's going to affect you by the time you need to get a house, by the time you need to pay mortgage, get a house by mortgage, when you need to buy a car, when you need to make when you need to take major steps in your life here, it's going to be difficult for you if you don't have a good credit score. So here it is important you take credit, but it's also important you pay off your debts when you're meant to pay them off, because everything here deals on credits. You need to have a good credit score. I don't know how to talk about that more, but I believe when you come here you understand more. But this is just on the surface for you to understand what credit is here, right? Let's proceed. You have to pay taxes. So back home in Nigeria, I know that most of us, we're not so used to paying huge tax. Granted, taxes were paid by our employers. Like when I was back home in Nigeria, the company I was working for was paying taxes on our behalf because they are paying it directly to the government, right? So, but here, we are taxed on, no, even in Nigeria, we pay VAT on everything before coming. That's part of tax, value added tax. Yeah, that's tax. But it is not as heavy as it is here in Canada. So here in Canada, there are different provinces, and different provinces have their own different tax rates. Here in Nova Scotia, which I am, or where I am, Nova Scotia is one of the provinces with the highest tax rate, or one of the provinces that pay higher taxes. We pay 15% of tax here, 15% on everything. Other provinces pay 11%, other provinces pay 13%, but here in Nova Scotia, we pay 15% tax. So what do I mean? When you work and you get your paycheck, before you even receive it into your account, tax has been deducted. 15% of whatever you earn has been deducted and given to the government. And that is one. There are a whole lot of other deductions you're going to be seeing in your pay stub on your weekly. So pay stub is your weekly statement for your earnings. Or no, your bi-weekly statement or your earnings from your company. You're going to see all the deductions, right? And sometimes it's a freaking lot. It's a lot, let's be honest. So you're going to pay tax from your income. When you buy anything, you're going to be taxed. When you do anything, as long as you're using your card, you're going to be taxed. And sometimes when you also pay cash, you will be taxed, right? So the taxing system here is something else. you're going to pay tax a lot. So when you work, say you work, you feel you work 50 hours and you calculate your money. Oh, your money is big, bah, 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 and you're already calculating how much that is going to be. You're already calculating what you're going to buy. Trust me, when that money gets into your account, you want to cry. Because the tax that would have been deducted from it will make your eye open. And another thing here is that when you work overtime, you pay more tax in Canada here. You work overtime, you pay more tax. So that is why some people who knows this trick or who knows this thing, sometimes they just work within their normal working hours, which is 40 hours, 44 hours, and they don't exceed 50 hours in a week. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be paying a whole lot in tax. So another thing we're going to be talking about is this beautiful side of paying tax. It is the incentives from the government. So I'm not even going to lie. I don't know if other YouTubers or anybody myself might have told you guys about this. As a newcomer, as an international student, as a fresh person here in Canada, we also receive incentives from the Canadian government. Yes, I received incentives from the Canadian government. Because once you file your tax, you're going to receive tax returns from the government, and that is a good thing. Now, I talked about how you're paying 15%, everything is taxed. You're going to receive some stipends or some refunds from the government to you as incentives. So we have the carbon rebates, we have the income tax return. Now, sometimes, not even sometimes, the government pays every citizen and everyone who has, who filed their tax a rebate, like an amount for the weather. If the weather is really harsh, I know it's in some provinces that they pay that. Most of us in Atlantic province here, because sometimes we have harsh weather conditions, so the government pay us for the weather, right? So you're going to be getting this incentive from the government. Like I'm getting incentive, despite that I'm a newcomer, despite that I was a student as of then, I still got some incentives from the government. And this is something I never got from back home in my home country, right? So that is the beautiful and the good side of being here in Canada. Now, another thing I want to be talking about is the incentives I got from the bank. All my years banking with Nigerian banks, I have never gotten anything more than 200 naira as thank you from any of the Nigerian banks. But here, just to sign up with the bank, I got $350 as welcome package. Like, I'm not even lying, guys. I'm not exaggerating. Yes, I had to meet their requirements. I had to meet up to something they wanted me to meet up to, to get that money. And they stayed true to their word. Once you meet the requirement, they're going to pay you that money. So when I came in as a newcomer in Canada, the bank I registered with gave me $350 as thank you for banking with us, right? So that is a very good thing, and that is one of the good things of being here. So there are some perks of being here in Canada. There are sometimes, of course, you're going to be spending more, you're going to be paying more, but at the same time, you're getting back returns for what you're giving to this country. That is what I've noticed, and there is nothing bad with that if you ask me. As long as I'm getting back what I'm giving, there is nothing bad. It's better than where you're just giving and giving and giving and you're not getting anything back. You all know what I mean, right? So that is it. So those are the things I've experienced being here in this country. So another thing I'm going to be talking about, which is going to be the last I'm going to be talking about, is lack of help. So in Canada here, we all get away with a lot of things, right? Like you have people left and right helping you from back home. Or you want to fix your shoes, or you have somebody who's going to fix your shoes for just 50 naira. You want to wash your car, there's somebody who's going to wash your car just for you for just 500 naira. Or you want to go buy something at that store over there. You have somebody you can call, please go buy that thing for me. Here it is not like that. You have no one to tell you or to help you do anything. You do everything by yourself. And if you want to outsource anything, you have to pay for it. There is no free help here. There is no free hand here. Now you have to pay for every help you want. And sometimes when you even have to pay, you don't even find somebody that is going to be able to do it for you. So that's the thing. So I don't know if I've answered the all's question or helped you guys understand some things to expect when coming here in Canada. I don't know if I've touched on everything you want to know, but since coming here, these are the things I can think of that I have experienced here in Canada. Like I mentioned, there's always the good, there's always the bad, there's always the pro, there's always the con, and that is what I talked about. Do I love being here in Canada? Yes, I do. Do I regret coming here? No. I love it here. I love it here because trust me, no country has it best. no country has it best. Like everything is always like you have to weigh the pros and the cons. Now you ask yourself, is the pro greater than the con, or is the con better than the pro? For me, I would say the pro here is better than the cons, or is greater than the cons. So I love it here. I don't know if I've helped you guys see one or two things about being in Canada. Hopefully it can help you in your journey. Thank you all for watching and sticking with me. Do not forget to like my videos. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share my video, guys. Thank you all for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye. Talking loud and you know plenty. You know what I'm talking about.